So I was 18, my friends used to place bets, but I was never really into it. Saw an advert on TV that offered £10 for free if you bet £10. And who says no to free money? And ultimately that was the start of what led me to prison. We had a childhood where financially we were, very poor. We lived in a council house. My dad was very abusive, physically, emotionally, psychologically towards all of us. And my mum would work and she would never have any money. And I would see that as a child. And, I made it my aim, my goal in life to be able to, provide for her financially. And that's where, the gambling started. At the time, I was working as an assistant psychologist, really good job. I was earning a decent amount of money. I could have quite easily, eventually bought her a house within good time, and the impatience just took over, and it led me to, to wanting to commit fraud to be able to buy the house. So I was gambling on things I knew, sports, cricket, tennis, football, basketball, NFL mainly. And it got kind of to the point where I was betting on things that I knew, winning some money, but then I started losing, and I got really desperate because the feeling now became not just betting on those sports I know, but also betting on anything. So I started branching out to baseball and hockey and these sports I never ever in my life have watched, and I was just really desperate to win and feel something within me. It was that adrenaline, that buzz, that high that I really desperately wanted. I resulted to stealing money from family, sadly. Ignorantly, I thought, let me just take this money, I'll double it, put it back. My family started to find out, of course, and they started showing me statements and so forth. And at this point, I kind of knew something was wrong, but I never accepted it. So I fell into depression because I didn't know how to get out of something that I knew was wrong, but I just did not know what exactly. Like, it felt like it was my job to kind of wake up, gamble, and any means to get money, I would have done it. And that's sadly what I did, And then I committed fraud and went to prison. And that's when my family was like, okay, he's not just doing this for fun, or he can't just stop like a lot of people think. They knew, obviously, okay, this is a serious issue that is clearly, harming him. There is obviously a stigma with gambling harms in general, but when it comes to Asians, speaking on behalf of myself, there's like these two things or three things that are always kind of spoken about in the Asian community, which is besti, which means shame upon the family, basically. And the other main one I would say is log kya kahenge, which means what will people say? And you worry about those things, because if you speak about your gambling harms, will you get the response you need, which is, I will support you, I'm here to support you, I want to understand you. When I came out of prison, I just didn't care. I was like, well, my mum's forgiven me, God's forgiven me, that's all that matters to me. And if my mum doesn't like me speaking about my experience to help others, doesn't matter to me, because religiously we are encouraged to do so. I was, super motivated. I went to my probation meetings all the time, and I said, look, I want to get help, I want to do this, I want to do that, apply for any job, I'll do any job, etc. And then I got a letter through the post saying that you are put on the adult barred list. So I couldn't then go back to psychology. I couldn't work as an assistant psychologist. And that, come down on me like a ton of bricks. And I felt lost again. And I turned back to gambling. Not only was it about making money, it was about escaping the reality that I was going through at that point. I spoke to my probation officer, I pleaded to her. I literally begged her, I said, I need your help because I'm gambling again, I need your help. She didn't contact me back, and my mum chucked me out of the house, understandably. She didn't want me to go, but she knew she had to protect herself and my little brothers, for example, at that time. If I was speaking to myself from, when I was in kind of like the middle of my gambling issue to now, and I would be where I am now, I wouldn't believe me, because at that time I was just thinking my own life, my whole life was gambling. There was no way out. I was stuck in this hole. I was suicidal, depressed, etc., etc. Massive debt, losing friends, losing family. No chance would people forgive me. But now I'm at, where I've graduated in August from my master's. I'm helping others. I'm working for groups as lived experience groups. I am very comfortable and confident about my story because of the experience I've gone through with prison, etc. I've built back those bridges with my family especially, and that's huge for me because I lost most of them. There would be no chance I would believe that, but it's evident that it exists and it can happen as long as you are consistent with your journey, as long as you're confident within yourself, and you really have to put yourself first within your journey to realize that you're able to gain benefits of life to where you want to be.